feel like I'm gonna be cursed. Maybe by the Romanian community or something.
I don't get it. I'm a curse in your life.
I've already gone immigration. You'll hear from them soon.
Gino wants to get Jasmine deported, and Matt thinks that she's cursed his life. Who would have thought? Who could have imagined that getting pregnant by your side piece while still married could be so messy? Oh yeah, that's right, all of us. So, we join Matt and Jasmine in this episode, in their new home.
How are you gonna drink from that water now?
I trust Coco than any other human.
You're so gross. You're gross.
Wow, I'm sure Matt can't wait to kiss those lips again. Sorry, but that is gross. It's so unhygienic. But at least the pair of them do seem a lot less tense than the last time we saw them. As I'm sure you recall, the last time they'd just found out that they were expecting a baby girl, and Matt was having real difficulty adjusting to the idea of being the father of a girl. Now, today when we join them, they're getting ready to build the first big item for the baby, a bassinet for her to sleep in.
This has to be pink too?
What's the problem?
I don't want to live in a Barbie house. I want to live in a regular house.
Then move, because everything is gonna be pink from now on.
Matt might be a little bit more at ease with the thought of having a daughter, but all the pink that goes with it is still clearly bugging him. Now, it's not necessarily just the pink. Jasmine herself seems to be grating on him. From her long nails, to her fashion choices, to the way she speaks and the way she is. It all seems to be annoying Matt.
You're criticizing, like I cannot wear long nails, I cannot dress this way, I curse too much, this and that, and you're not even considering my feelings.
Matt used to be so super supportive, but that has all now changed. And not only that, but Jasmine is also worried because Matt hasn't told his family about her yet. Like, not only do they not know about her existence, but they sure as heck don't know that Matt and her are expecting a baby. Now, while Jasmine admits she herself hasn't told her family back in Panama either, yeah, I know, hypocritical, right? Imagine what kind of shock and surprise that's going to cause her nearest and dearest. As far as Matt's concerned from his perspective, he's not sure how his super religious mum or the wider Romanian community at large, because remember, Matt is Romanian, are gonna react to Jasmine and their big news.
I feel like I'm gonna be cursed. Maybe by the Romanian community or something.
I don't get it. I'm a curse in your life.
No.
Now, Matt doesn't exactly blame Jasmine for their situation, at least not completely, but he does say that his mum and his family aren't going to approve of the way that they've done things. I mean, it's a bit late to worry about that now, isn't it, Matt? Perhaps some of those thoughts should have crossed your mind before you agreed to sleep with a married woman. Still, Matt explains that the way he always expected he'd do things, the way his parents and his family expected things would go, is that he'd find a girl, fall in love, get married, and then have a baby. Never in his wildest dreams did he imagine that the woman he'd be introducing to his mum, who'd be pregnant with his child, would still be legally married to another man.
Why? You agreed to be in an open marriage to begin with.
Because I'm an idiot.
So then deal with the consequences of being an idiot.
Exactly. You made your bed, Matt. Now you have to sleep in it. Sorry, but being an idiot doesn't change anything. He's not innocent in any of this, is he? Like, it wasn't exactly as if Jasmine somehow tricked Matt. He knew exactly what he was getting into, and for as much of an idiot as he is, he can't act as if he didn't know where babies came from. Now, despite the fact that it was his choice to sleep with a married woman, Matt is now scared to tell his mum about her, tell his mum that he's having a baby with her. He's worried that this news will break his mother's heart. So, as a compromise, rather than introducing Jasmine to his family, Matt instead wants to introduce Jasmine to a friend of his, a friend that he grew up with. But, again, as we join them as they're getting ready to go and meet that friend, Matt's nerves, his unsupportive attitude, again becomes glaringly obvious.
Lordy Lord.
Bullet.
All right, hold on. See? All them hot dog buns you eat with that coffee in the morning.
At 6 months pregnant, Jasmine is beginning to have a few technical issues with getting dressed. Now, get this. Despite now being in her second trimester, Matt wants Jasmine to try and hide the pregnancy from his friend. He wants her to dress in a way that doesn't make it obvious, and also not bring it up as a topic of conversation. But the problem is, Matt, Mr. Idiot, it's not exactly as if she can conceal her bump. And seeing this, seeing that it's going to be impossible not to notice, Matt suddenly starts to really worry about the evening ahead.
I'm still a little nervous because she is part of the Romanian community, so anything crazy she tells him, there's a good possibility he might go and start telling people.
But despite his fears, it's too late now. Before long, they arrive to meet his buddy David, and Jasmine is excited. She says to David, the only thing I actually know about Romania is Dracula and what she calls gypsies. But little does she know, that is apparently the worst thing that you could possibly say to a Romanian.
With Romanians, you could offend them. If you talk about gypsies or you call them a gypsy, it can be very offensive. So...
Now, judging by the look that David gave Jasmine when she said that, Matt is now concerned that she hasn't made the best first impression. But maybe, just maybe, Matt, maybe you should have warned her about that if that was going to be a big deal. Now, David does seem to let the moment slide, which also raises the question, maybe this is all being blown up in Matt's head, maybe it's not really that big of an issue at all. But instead, David then goes on to ask them how they met. Yeah, grab the popcorn, folks. This should be interesting.
One day, she's asking me how to use some equipment at the gym. And then from there, we ended up just talking here and there, becoming friends and working out together. It wasn't that complicated.
It wasn't that complicated, he says, completely inconspicuously. I mean, he certainly left out a lot of details there. Quite important details, didn't he? Now, moving swiftly on, Jasmine wants to know all about Matt's past. Was he promiscuous? In fact, has he ever been married before, she wants to know. I mean, if he's been hiding her from his family and she's such a prize after all, what else might he be hiding, she wonders.
But I'm wife material, 100%.
Do you agree to that or no?
Her?
Yeah.
How do I know? Because I've been married twice.
Oh no, Jasmine, that isn't the flex that you seem to think it is. Now, Jasmine says that she has experience, she knows firsthand what can make a marriage fail. But, Jasmine, you don't seem to have too much experience of what makes a marriage work, do you? Now, keep in mind, this whole topic of conversation is precisely the kind of thing that Matt expressly asked Jasmine not to talk to his friend about. Only, he should know by now. When can anyone ever tell Jasmine what to do? She well and truly marches to the sound of her own drum. And, predictably, before too long, she goes on to make things even worse.
Actually, I'm still married.
No. Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about that one, but...
Legally.
I don't feel like there's any reason to bring that up right now.
I'm ready to tell David everything. I don't give a
Yeah, there was really no need to bring that up, especially as she knows that's a conversation that Matt doesn't want to have on the very first meeting. But, as far as Jasmine's concerned, she's not willing to hide anything. She wants everything, and I do mean everything, out in the open. You see, much to Matt's absolute horror, Jasmine tackles the very clear elephant in the room.
Am I allowed to say the truth?
There's nothing happening. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm guessing you're trying to say that you're caring.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rabbit is out of the bag, but from his reaction, David pretty much guessed already. Now, hilariously, the next thing he asks her is, are you sure it's his? To which Jasmine reaffirms it is Matt's. But I'm willing to bet Matt right now is wishing that there was some ambiguity. He wishes maybe he wasn't the dad. One thing's for sure, Matt is now really regretting setting up this meeting. He's now concerned that David is going to go back and gossip about this to his family.
Romanians don't even approve of couples living together before marriage, let alone having a kid with a married woman. His mom is going to have a lot to swallow.
Matt begs David, literally begs him not to tell anyone about this. But that desire to keep their kid secret leaves Jasmine in tears. Now, surprisingly, instead of making a scene, instead of causing a fuss here and now, Jasmine stands up and walks away for a moment, and David seizes upon that opportunity to tell Matt, you're gonna have to tell your family about this. This isn't the sort of thing you can hide for too much longer.
I don't give my mom a heart attack.
Hey, you did it, man. You gotta own up to it.
Yeah.
I like this guy. He's saying it as it is. Like, sorry, Matt, but you should have worried about that before getting involved with a married woman. Like, Matt needs to own his actions. He can't just hide them forever. But the problem is, he might not be mature enough to do that. When Jasmine tries to explain that she feels alone throughout all of this, Matt responds by trying to make a joke of it, trying to make light of this whole situation.
This is my beautiful girlfriend that hates me.
Did you understand, like, this kind of stupidity? And in a few months, we're gonna have a baby. And this is his stupidity.
I think you shouldn't be joking.
Jasmine is clearly upset, and Matt is making jokes. Now, to be fair, his friend doesn't know that Jasmine often gets this upset. But he does turn to Matt and say, you need to grow up before your baby arrives. And that comment just cements Jasmine's growing belief that Matt is the problem.
I have the impression that the only judgmental person in Romanian community is you, Matt.
I hope y'all figure it out.
Now, with that, the night ends. But when we next join them, we learn that Jasmine is soon going to have even more to worry about. You see, Gino has sent her an email saying that they need to talk. Now, of course, Jasmine isn't aware that Gino's intention is to read this letter that he's written for her. So when she calls him, and although he doesn't immediately answer...
He must be watching porn.
They do eventually end up having a very short, curt conversation in which Gino tells her he wants to read her a letter that he's prepared. Now, Jasmine isn't happy. She kind of senses that something might be about to go wrong, but she sits back and lets him say what he has to say.
Once you arrived in Michigan, you treated me horribly daily, and it was as though you never really wanted to be with me.
Now, Gino goes on to say that the timing between her getting her green card and then deciding to stay with Matt is significant. But then he gets to the part that's probably most important to him, the money. Gino begins to list out everything that he wants Jasmine to pay him back for. The money that I spent on you in Panama, the green card fees, our wedding costs, all of the costs of the attorneys. Heck, he even wants compensation for all his time that he spent on her immigration. Like, the way he lists this out is insane.
All this money adds up to a good $70,000. You never intended to be with me. It was a scam as marriage fraud to the T.
Jasmine, as of course she would, denies that she ever tried to scam him. But Gino doesn't want to listen. Now, he does give her an alternative. He does say to her, I'll forgive all of this money. You don't need to pay me back if you go back to Panama. Now, of course, there's a reason why he's saying this, right? By bringing her over to the States, Gino knows that he's the one on the hook here. He's the one that's financially responsible for her for the next 10 years or until she becomes a US citizen. Like, should she wish to, should she want to inflict even more heartbreak and pain on Gino, the next 10 years are likely to cost him a lot more than $70,000. But for right now, as she's digesting what she's just heard, Jasmine is just gobsmacked. She's floored at the fact that Gino is choosing to act this way during her most vulnerable moment while she's pregnant. He's choosing now to threaten her with deportation. But, of course, that, from Gino's perspective, is the whole point.
I just found out you're pregnant with some other guy's kid, and we were supposed to have a baby together.
You never wanted a baby! You never even wanted to sleep with me!
Gino really is starting to believe his own victim act, isn't he? Again, Jasmine was fully in the wrong, right? But that doesn't make Gino right. He was also no saint. He was also responsible for the breakdown of their marriage. Now, Jasmine begs him to just leave them alone, but Gino refuses. He's convinced himself that their marriage was a scam from the very beginning, so now he's determined to get his revenge.
I've already gone immigration. You'll hear from him soon.
Jasmine is distraught by this news. She's distraught at the thought of what this might mean for her, Matt, and their baby. Like the idea that her baby might now be ripped away from its father. But Gino couldn't care less. Literally, the only thing that he cares about is to inflict as much pain as possible, to cause them the same amount of pain that he believes they caused him. He doesn't see himself at fault at all. This is just poetic justice, he says.
I am going to take action right away. The real impact to me, I don't care. You emotionally broke my...
Look, truthfully speaking, I don't really care what happens to Jasmine and Matt. They have to live with the consequences of their own actions. But an innocent baby's future is also at stake here. Like, whatever happens in this war between adults is also going to impact her life. You've just got to hope that their crappy choices don't cause an innocent child unnecessary pain. But something tells me Gino couldn't care about that one bit.